Students were in the hallway between classes. Brianna walked in with her phone out, smiling a smile that made something in my chest tighten. Something wrong. She closed the door behind her.
Hey, Mr. O, can we talk?
The hallway is better.
Please? Just for a minute.
She stepped closer. Too close. Then, before I could react, she dragged my chair out and forcibly sat herself on my lap. I froze, shocked, horrified, hands in the air like I was surrendering to police. I didn't even breathe. And two of her friends burst in the room with phones recording. Got him! Got him! He told her to sit on his lap. This is going viral. My heart slammed against my ribs. Get off me! Brianna, move! I pushed my chair back, and she stumbled off me dramatically, fake tears already forming.
He told me to, and he touched me.
I couldn't speak. My throat was gravel. My brain was frozen. They had planned this. I knew it. Every cell in me knew it. They took the video straight to the principal. My name is Chinedu Okafor, but at Riverside High School in small-town Illinois, they called me all sorts of things before they ever called me Mr. Okafor. I came to the United States from Nigeria when I was 7 years old. My mother worked double shifts in a hospital laundry room, and my father drove buses for 15 years to put me through school. I grew up believing education was the one thing no one could take away from you. But I must have been naive, because when I started teaching English literature at Riverside High, I realized people will try to take away everything they can if they don't understand you. When I got the job teaching English literature at Riverside High, I was proud. I thought it was the beginning of something good, a chance to inspire young minds, to honor the sacrifice of my parents who worked themselves nearly to exhaustion to bring us from Nigeria to the United States when I was 7. I ironed my only suit the night before and practiced introducing myself in the mirror. I thought I was ready. But the first day I walked into that classroom, before I even reached the desk, I heard a voice say, "Yo, why they got a Walmart Wakanda professor teaching here?" The class laughed. I felt my jaw tighten. I tried to smile anyway. Good morning, everyone. My name is Mr. Okafor. Nah, that's Mr. Ooga Booga. Laughter again. I took attendance, pretending it didn't hurt. My mother always said,
"The lion does not look back when small dogs bark."
But it's easier to say that when the dogs aren't barking in your own face every day. They mocked my accent constantly. They hid my bag. They hid my laptop in the ceiling tiles. They stole my whiteboard markers. They reported me to the principal for things I didn't do. One day after school, I found a note taped to my classroom door. "Go back to Africa, scammer." I remember standing there staring at that note so long, the hallway lights flicked off. I thought about quitting, but I didn't quit, because quitting would mean they were right. About me, about my worth, about my place, and I could not allow that. They mocked my accent constantly. "Can you say water again? No, slower, like washa." Ha! They thought Nigerians were scammers. They would hum the beat of African music whenever I walked in. Travis once shouted, "Yo, Mr. Africa, you got Wi-Fi in your village now or just coconut routers?" The class erupted. I forced a smile, but something in my chest cracked. One morning, right before parent-teacher conferences, I couldn't find my laptop. That laptop held months of lesson plans, grading sheets, confidential records. Gone. I searched every room, every closet, every drawer. My hands were shaking. By lunch, a girl named Imani, a quiet honor roll student who always sat in the second row, came to me with eyes full of guilt.
Check the ceiling tiles in your classroom.
They had hidden it in the ceiling tiles, like some prison contraband. When I retrieved it, the class cheered like they had won a soccer match. Another day in the afternoon, while I was erasing the board, a student named Logan walked in holding a bunch of bananas. He tossed one onto my desk and said loudly, "Here you go, Mr. Monkey. Need a snack?" The class howled with laughter. I froze, my hand still holding the eraser, my throat tightening. "Pick that up." Logan smirked. "Why, you hungry?" Before I could respond, Imani stood up from her desk.
Throw it again? I dare you.
The room went silent, not because they cared about my dignity, but because Imani wasn't someone to play with. Logan backed down, but the damage was done. I sat in my car after school and cried for the first time in years. One afternoon, I was called to the principal's office. A boy named Dylan had reported that I was sending him romantic messages. I froze. What messages? They showed me screenshots, fake screenshots. Someone had made a fake WhatsApp account with my name and picture, messaging Dylan things like, "You are handsome. I admire you." My voice cracked. "Sir, I did not send these." Luckily, this time, the principal believed me, because my phone records and IP location didn't match, and my WhatsApp account had two-factor authentication. But the damage was done. By the time I walked back to class, they were already whispering. In that class, Imani was the only one who got my back. She didn't treat me like a joke. She stayed after class to ask questions. She always greeted me respectfully. One day, after everyone left, she looked at me and said,
You know they mess with you because you're better than the space they want to keep you in, right?
I blinked. What space is that?
The box where black men are threats, entertainers, or jokes. You're none of those. So they don't know what to do with you.
That moment stayed with me. Still, nothing prepared me for the day Brianna tried to end my career entirely. It was lunchtime. I was grading assignments. Students were in the hallway between classes. Brianna walked in with her phone out, smiling a smile that made something in my chest tighten. Something wrong. She closed the door behind her.
Hey, Mr. O, can we talk?
The hallway is better.
Please? Just for a minute.
She stepped closer. Too close. Then, before I could react, she dragged my chair out and forcibly sat herself on my lap. I froze, shocked, horrified, hands in the air like I was surrendering to police. I didn't even breathe. And two of her friends burst in the room with phones recording. Got him! Got him! He told her to sit on his lap. This is going viral. My heart slammed against my ribs. Get off me! Brianna, move! I pushed my chair back, and she stumbled off me dramatically, fake tears already forming.
He told me to, and he touched me.
I couldn't speak. My throat was gravel. My brain was frozen. They had planned this. I knew it. Every cell in me knew it. They took the video straight to the principal. I was called in within minutes. The principal's face was stone. The parents were already being notified. The school board, the district. I saw everything collapsing. My life, my future, my reputation, everything. But then the door opened. Imani walked in, her voice calm, sure, sharp.
I need to speak.
The principal nodded stiffly.
I overheard Brianna and her friends planning this in the girls' restroom. They said they were going to sit on his lap and get him fired. I recorded them.
She pulled out her phone, played the recording, clear as daylight, Brianna's voice.
He thinks he's better than us. We'll ruin him. I'm gonna sit on his lap and cry. Record everything, he'll be done.
Silence. The principal looked sick. Not angry, sick. Brianna's parents were called in. They were horrified. They apologized to me with tears in their eyes. They withdrew her from school and sent her to live with her aunt, who, I later learned, was a farmer in rural Wisconsin. Her aunt was so strict that rumors spread saying Brianna works on the farm every day and feeds the chickens too. Her phone has been taken away, and the farmhouse doesn't even have Wi-Fi. Social media went quiet. The hallways went quiet. The entire class went quiet. I thought maybe that was the end. It was not. One of the boys, Travis, decided he would try to frame me too, to prove the first one was really true. He pretended to slip and fall outside my classroom, then screamed I had pushed him. But the idiot staged it in front of a staircase camera. He fell so hard he sprained his own wrist. He was suspended for false accusation and reckless endangerment. After that, the principal started doing sudden walk-ins. One minute the class was laughing and throwing paper, and the next the door would creak open and the principal would appear like a ghost. No warning, just a presence that made Travis jolt upright, Logan swallow his gum, and Madison shove her phone away like it was illegal. By the third visit, they didn't even need the door. They weren't behaving out of respect. Just pure, delicious fear of getting caught slipping again. And then came detention week. Karma delivered on a silver platter. Travis, Logan, Madison, and two others got written up for their usual stupidity. And destiny did something beautiful. The principal assigned me to supervise their detention. When they walked in and saw me holding the clipboard, Their souls left their bodies. I didn't yell. I didn't scold. I simply handed them gloves, mops, and buckets like a general assigning battlefield chores. For an hour straight, they scraped gum, scrubbed graffiti, and picked trash. I made them clean school toilets. Madison screamed when she touched something slimy. By the end, they were sweaty, humbled, and eerily quiet. For the first time, they looked at me not with mockery, but with something dangerously close to respect. Silence. Real silence. Not the silence of disrespect. The silence of consequence. And slowly, things changed. Students began to say, "Good morning, Mr. Okafor." They asked real questions. They worked harder. They apologized. Not all at once, but in small ways. A returned stolen pen here. A notebook placed neatly on my desk there. A thank you, muttered after class. And I saw something I never thought I would see. Humility, growth, humanity. One day near the end of the year, a boy who had once called me Mr. Africa stayed behind after class. He swallowed hard. "You're a good teacher. I was just being stupid." I nodded, not trusting myself to speak. When graduation came, Amani walked the stage first, as valedictorian. When she shook my hand, she leaned in and whispered,
You kept your dignity. They can't take that.
I smiled. Neither can the world. And that, dear viewers, is how I survived my first year teaching in America. And if you liked this story, please like, comment, and subscribe. Because listen, Wi-Fi is not free. Support your local teacher.